welcome. My name is Kayla Gately. I am a volunteer for the Endangered Species Fund, and today I am here with Kelly Steele, and she was a volunteer for Game Rangers International. So thanks so much for talking with me today. I really appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, so why don't we start off with how you got into volunteering in the first place?
So I've been a massive wildlife fanatic for my entire life. I've been traveling to Africa yearly for the last 20 years. And it got to a point where I didn't just want to go and have a holiday. I wanted to feel like I was actually going and putting something back into the place that I love so much.
Yeah, wow, so you grew up kind of traveling a lot?
Yeah, I mean, my dad worked abroad when I was a kid, so he was like always abroad, so we would always travel with him. But I mean, wildlife is my passion, and when you have that passion, you do everything that you can to get over there and see it firsthand.
Yeah, definitely. Was that a
Yeah.
passion from when you were really young too? Was it?
Yeah, from like the age of, I mean, from as long as I can remember. I mean, I become vegetarian when I was 7, and I've been vegan now for I don't know how many years. It's just animals. It's just animals.
And where are you from originally?
So originally I'm from England, Chelmsford, which is in Essex. But for the last 20, I'm aging myself now, 28, 29 years, I've been living in Belgium.
Oh, that's really interesting. So you kind of
Yeah.
moved.
Yeah. My mum and dad said they always knew I wouldn't stay in England, because my dad was always traveling. So you kind of get the bug yourself, I think. So,
Yeah. Was he
yeah.
traveling for work?
Sorry?
Was he traveling for work a lot?
He was traveling for work all the time, yeah.
Mhm.
So, and he was going to some really, really beautiful places. And when we were young enough, we would go with him. But like, when then dreaded school started, you could only go and join him in the holidays. So,
Yeah. Yeah, so you
yeah,
kind of caught that bug and you were like, I
yeah,
want to travel too.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that's great. So you kind of got to combine that traveling passion with the wildlife.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, if I go away, I don't really do city breaks, which is terrible. I save up my time and then I go do a long wildlife holiday every year.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And how did you find Game Rangers International?
So I actually stumbled across Game Rangers International many, many years ago on Facebook. So
Find it.
always, always looking, for like places to support and stuff. But you've got to be so careful with the ones who are true conservation, or the ones that are part of the canned hunting industry or stuff like that. You've got to be really, really careful. And Game Rangers International just ticked every box perfectly.
Yeah, it had everything you were looking for.
Yeah, yeah.
And had you volunteered prior to this?
I'd done Tanzania. I worked for hyena conservation. And when we were in Kenya, we'd done some work with the KWS and the vets there. So,
Before we continue, I'd love to ask you a small favor. If this story touches you, please like and subscribe. It may seem simple, but it really helps spread inspiration so more people can step out and make a difference in their own lives. And if you'd like to learn more, the links are at the end and in the description below. Now, let's hear more of this journey.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, if you want to talk a little bit about, well, you told me how you found Game Rangers, but like how
Yeah.
you kind of got started in volunteering and what your experience was like.
With Game Rangers International specifically, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I decided I went for the month. I think it was last year in March, I believe it was. Yeah. It was amazing. The people there were so lovely. And what I really loved about Game Rangers International is you're not hands-on with the animals. They're wild animals that they want to get back into the wild. So you can do everything that you can to help them on that journey, but at a respectable distance. Obviously they're handlers and everything that spend time with them, but us as volunteers, we're allowed to do everything possible that's going to help them back onto their journey, but have the contact. And that's actually something that I really appreciated with them.
Yeah, it's a focus on rehabilitation, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and what kind of animals were you working with while you were there?
So when I was there, they had, now I've seen that they've got the vervet monkeys and stuff up. That wasn't open yet, so we were just with obviously they had the working with the elephants, and then when you're in Kafue, you go out and you do the species census So you go out and you spend a couple of days with your iPad noting down what species you see, how many there are of them, in what area they're in, so they can get an idea of what the game life is like in that park.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Was there a favorite part that you had about volunteering for them?
Favorite part, I can't tell you. Honestly, I loved it from start to finish. Every day was different. You know, every day really was different. You woke up in the morning, you were doing something different. You were either going to see some of the ladies groups that they'd set up, or you spent the day. I loved spending the day with the kids. The kids were lovely. I'm not really a people person, but it was really, really fun spending time with the kids, you know. That one day was lovely, and then back to the animals again.
Oh, so you had like one day where you went and worked with the kids and then went back.
Yeah, we went to the school, we picked them up, and then they came back with us to the centre in Lusaka. They have like this education centre so the kids can come. And I mean, if you think about it, a lot of these kids have never even seen an elephant, which is crazy when you think about it, you know, when they're in their own country. So what Game Rangers International do is they get the kids by bus, bring them back, they give them like a little show and tell and a quiz, and then when the elephants come out to have their bathe time, the kids are then brought up there to see the elephants. And it was awesome to see, you know, these kids.
Yeah, that's great. I actually didn't even know that was part of it, that you were going to the school as well.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed that. We actually done it twice. We done it once in Lusaka and then another time down in Kafue, because Game Rangers International, from what I understand, sponsor both of the schools. So in the Kafue one, the kids didn't come into the park, but we were there when we done like quizzes with them and answered questions, because obviously they're really curious about, you know, us strange people that are coming to them as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I bet. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to ask you what a typical day was like there, but it sounds like it was never the same day twice.
There was never a typical day. You know, they could be saying, okay, you're going to do this, and all of a sudden something happens and you end up doing something better. You know, so yeah, there's no real typical day. The typical thing is that you go to bed early. You know, but because you want to go to bed early, because you want to get up and be like, you know, bright and breezy for the next day.
Yeah, so it feels very spontaneous then, like you're always moving.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when I went, there was only 2 other people who were volunteering, and they were, let's say, a little bit older generation than I was. So I imagine if you go with a bunch of friends, or if you go and it's a young group, the atmosphere is different to the atmosphere that I had, but it doesn't matter. You know, you're there with the animals, and, you know, that's what brings everyone together, I suppose.
Yeah. So did you get to know the other volunteers as well?
I did, yeah. I'm actually still in contact with them, which
great.
is really nice. Yeah, they went to India about 6 months ago and were sending me all the photos of the tigers that they came across.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that you kind of built a little community while you were there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've often found, like, the people that you meet when you're volunteering, you stay in contact with them, like, that's it, you know, you're constantly in contact. You might not never see each other again, depending on where they are in the world, but, you know, you still keep that bond.
Yeah, definitely. That's great.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about, you know, your experience as a volunteer, and I'm wondering if there was anything that was super impactful to you during your time there.
It was. When we was in Kafue, we went to see some of the villagers that live just on the outskirts of the park itself, and what the people have to deal with, because, you know, there's wild elephants there. They're coming in, raiding their stocks, eating all of their hard work that they've done, and, you know, once that's gone, they've got no harvest for the rest of the year. That really impacted me, in seeing how little the people had, and yet, you know, they're still willing to work with Game Rangers International to, like, you know, try and make sure that they can live side by side.
Yeah. It sounds like, even though this was a great experience, there might have been like some challenges too that you faced while you were there.
But I think when you're especially when you're doing something like this, you have to have your eyes open. Like, you know, we're like, oh, save the elephants, and you've got to do everything you can, but you have to understand that, you know, there are people that live alongside these animals, and and they do come in and they rip out all of their harvest for the year, and then these people have got nothing. They can't just go down to the shops and buy more because they don't have the means to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that GRI, they bring bangers, so to try and scare the elephants off, and they're teaching them about beehives because the elephants won't like bees, or the sunflower fields because the elephants won't like sunflower seeds. It really hurts your heart when you see how the people are living, but it also puts a massive smile on your face when you realise that they're still trying to live side by side with these animals.
So I'm guessing you would definitely recommend that people volunteer then?
Oh, no. Yes, of course I would. 110%, yes. 110%, yeah. And even if you're not massive animal lovers, just because it's not all animals, you also meet the people. Just that experience, I think, is going to open up anybody's eyes. You don't have to be a massive elephant lover to do this volunteer thing. Okay, you're going to love it a hell of a lot more if you are, but I think I think you'll get so much out of it. Anyone will get so much out of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I know you said you were always, interested in wildlife conservation from when you were young. Is this kind of always something you pictured yourself doing?
For as long as I can travel, I will always volunteer and go do stuff like this.
Yeah, well, I mean, even if it's not, like your career, you're still dedicating a lot of time to volunteering, and it's still a big part of your life.
Yeah, for sure.
Were any of any of the elephants, did they have any unique personalities like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we spent more time with them, we would definitely have seen their quirkiness come out. The keepers would always tell us about it, and what was nice is, I don't think they have to do it anymore, but the keepers used to keep a diary of what elephants went out, who came in, who came first, who came last, if they were talking to each other, and they used to have it written. So when we were there, we were uploading that information into a tablet, so it was all digitalized. And just from doing that, you could see, okay, this one's the cheeky one, this one's always the one who's running off to get the milk first, or this one's the one who's always causing trouble with these two. So the elephants, they definitely have their own personalities like that. But, obviously the keepers knew them for longer, so they saw it and we didn't as much.
Yeah, that's so cute though. I love that they all have their own little personalities and attitudes.
Yeah.
You did say there was one that decided to leave early, so.
Yep, exactly. There you go. Is that enough? Yeah.
And then, is there any advice that you would give to any future volunteers?
Go do it, 110%. Go and do it, and just be open to everything that comes your way. It's not going to be a structured day. Maybe you might have to get up earlier one day, or maybe you think something's going to start later the next day. Just go with the flow, and you're going to have the best time ever. You're going to come away from the 3 weeks thinking, want to go back.
That's great advice. Yes. Thank you so much for
My pleasure.
sitting down and talking with me and taking the time. It was great getting to know you and learn more about
You too, hon.
You have a great personality too. You're so just go with the flow and fun.
What are you going to do? Promise me, if you ever go, let me know and I'll come and volunteer with you.
Oh. We can hang out.
Exactly. Have you got to do another one now?
Not today, no.
Okay. Good for you. Otherwise it'd be a long old day.
No, thankfully not.
Yeah. But thank you very much, hon. I really appreciate talking with me.
Yes, thank you so much. Have a great
day. You too, darling. Take care. Bye.
Hey, and she will fall out of the pot.
Smile.